The building permit for this home in this residential subdivision pertains to the lot those cattle are on in this lot and requires a 2,000-foot setback of those cattle from this home. Now, these cattle are on the easement that belonged to this home. It was an easement by necessity, and they are now being put on a strip of land that is owned by us in our special needs trust by boundary by acquiescence. The sheriff lawlessly, under state power and threat that they would arrest us for criminal mischief, allowed Charles D. Hall, Astrid Hall, and Cheyenne Hall to put this razor-sharp barbed wire fence across our property. There was no lawsuit for ejectment ever filed. No summons and complaint ever filed against the owner of this property, which is two special needs trusts. There was no trial. There was no writ of execution. There was no writ of possession. It was just lawless action by the Alachua County Sheriff to seize this property, and they allowed grand theft of 2 gates that I purchased with trust funds by Charles D. Hall and Astrid Hall and numerous fence boards and fence posts. It was grand theft. Charles D. Hall, Astrid Hall, and Cheyenne Hall lied to the officers, a felony false statement to police officers, that Larry Reeves and Susie Reeves built the gates and bought the gates and the fence that enclosed this property on the side. I provided SPAR receipts, which have barcodes that match the barcodes on those gates that were taken by felony grand theft by Charles D. Hall, Astrid Hall, and Cheyenne Hall from us. The sheriff said that wasn't good enough. SPAR tells me the sheriff never called SPAR. The sheriff and the Hall spoliated the evidence of the gates. The Halls were out here last night, Cheyenne Hall and her father, after a spoliation instruction was sent to them and their lawyer and the sheriff, spoliating evidence by taking down fence boards. These fence boards are taking down our property of the foreclosure estate going on with Darlene Baylor. It had no court permission from Circuit Judge Monica Brasington to take the property. These cattle have been making people in this home have diarrhea and flu symptoms. I have a medical diagnosis of respiratory disabilities and impairments. We have a horse that just had between $4,000 and $5,000 surgery at the University of Florida Large Animal Hospital that may have gotten it from an upper respiratory virus. Upper respiratory virus has been passed by these cattle to these horses before, and that's proven by discharge of snot and lesions on the cattle and then coming through these horses. The cattle are being put here by the sheriff under power of the state of the sheriff with no regard to the building permit, the setback requirements, or the health and safety of the people in this home, with no court order of ejectment to take that strip of property and put these cattle here. And this is what's happening right now. This is what's happening right now. This is a disabled person here coming out, and she is being affected, her medical condition, by these cattle and these horses being put here with no court. Oh my God! Oh my God!
This has been what has been causing my diarrhea for 7 days.
And the sheriff did this lawless act. And And the counsel for the sheriff, Ms. Wygant, said,
The horses are too close.
we have a horse that got a virus from the animals of Charles Hall. And the subdivision rules require them to make a setback. The building permit,
Those horses should not be next to our horses. They're sick. Those horses shouldn't be near our horses. Those are sick animals.
the TV reporter should be asking the sheriff, where's the order of ejectment and final judgment of ejectment from this property? And where's the agricultural regulations that allow the placement of these cattle and these horses so close to our property?
Too much is too much.
The building permit on this home requires a 2,000-foot setback. It says it applies to parcel 19988-001-001 and parcel number 19988-1, which is that parcel has a 2,000-foot setback building permit requirement on this home. Here.